although in the actual mock trial, you can only object if it's your witness.
Miss Mooney, you worked with Ozzy Cobblepot, correct?
Can you please clarify by what you mean work?
Sure, you sold drugs for your cousin.
Well, after college, I was drowning in debt for a while, and unfortunately, I did make the mistake of being involved in that type of business because I felt as if I had no other choice.
So yes to my question. And you're also aware your cousin is a gambler.
But let her make her answer it. You can't answer it yourself.
In your statement, you claimed your cousin was a gambler, is that correct?
Well, like everyone else, everybody has their flaws, of course, and unfortunately, Ozzy took a different path, and it did include gambling, yes.
So again, yes to my question. You also said he was a drug dealer.
Wait a second, Elliot. So I know she's not answering yet, okay? But your answer was that he gambled. Yes or no? Yes or no, ma'am?
I suppose you could say yes.
So that's what I would do. Because you can't testify.
Yeah.
I mean, even though in cross, you're testifying, she has to be the answer.
Okay. Where, I was too direct. You were there the night your cousin was murdered, right?
Yes, Ozzy asked me to go to the rookery, and I did see my own cousin get shot.
You were outside behind the dumpster.
Well, when I first followed Ozzy after the game, I wanted to make sure everything was all right, and when I entered the alleyway, I saw some sort of, I suppose, like a situation occurring, so I hid behind the dumpster just to observe what was
So
happening.
yes, to my question, you were behind the dumpster, correct?
Yes, as I said.
And the alley was unlit also, right?
Well, in my state, well, there was partial moonlight, so it took very few seconds for my eyes to adjust.
But yes, the alley was unlit.
There was moonlight, but there was no other lights.
And you said you didn't identify the shooter that night, correct?
I was more focused on making sure my cousin was going to be all right. The shooter was not even on my mind. I was trying to make sure Ozzy was going to be okay, which he was not.
So no, you did not identify the shooter the night of May 22nd, correct?
No, but I did the very next day when I calmed down a little bit more and I was thinking, of course.
So you identified the shooter the next day as soon as you saw him, right?
Wait, sorry. Can you say that again?
Would you like me to rephrase the question, Ms. Mooney?
Yes, please.
You identified the shooter the next day at the police station, correct?
After I calmed down a little bit, the police officers took me into Gotham City Police Department so I could give my statement. And when I arrived to the police station, I saw Robin Wayne, and all of the connections went together, and I realized that was the man who killed Ozzy.
So you identified the shooter as Robin Wayne that next day, right?
Of course, the very next day.
And your first time seeing Miss Wayne was the morning of May 22nd, correct?
Yes, I do believe so. At the bank that morning, I saw
The robbery you were involved in, correct?
unknowingly.
Your Honor, I'd like to approach the witness.
You may.
Let the record reflect I'm showing the witness Exhibit 1. Do you know what this is?
Yes.
What is it?
I believe it's the plea of guilt from the state office.
Is it a fair and accurate representation?
Yes, I believe so.
I'd like to enter Exhibit 1 into evidence. Miss Mooney, you just said you unknowingly were involved in the robbery, but here in your plea of guilt from the state of Iowa, you took responsibility for aggravated assault, correct?
Well, of course, if I knew what Ozzy's intentions were, I would never have gone along with it.
So yes, you took responsibility to aggravated assault,
You
correct?
voluntarily pled guilty.
Because even though I unknowingly had part of it, I did have part of it, so of course I had to plead guilty.
You also pled guilty to armed robbery, correct?
Well, that's what Ozzy went inside the bank to do, and I was oblivious to the entire thing.
But you still took responsibility for what you did, correct?
I did do it not knowing what I was doing, but of course I had to plead guilty because I was involved.
And you also took responsibility of assault accessory after the fact.